What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I'm a little bit happy. Because you see, for a long time, well, a few weeks at least, we have been thinking we're getting a Thor expansion in Marvel Champions. And we are! And it's been revealed! And I'm delighted. The God of Thunder is coming to Marvel Champions. He's getting his own hero pack. And I, for one, am rather delighted. And now that it's been revealed and we've got to look at a bunch of the cards, we should take a look at what it is and how it works and how unique it might be. So, of course, we do need a hero card here, and the good news is we have one. It literally wouldn't work without it. Looking at 4 here, we've got Thwart of 1, Attack of 2, and Defense of 2, which is actually kind of rubbish. Like, in terms of those stats, the only other character we saw in the core set, which didn't have a total of at least 6, was Captain Marvel. Iron Man did have a total of 4, but as we've seen, Iron Man with all upgrades, etc., is a special case. Generally speaking, they add up to 6, so we're not loving the stats here. Except we've got HP of 15, which is second only to She-Hulk, and quite a bit higher than most of the others. So yeah, we don't love the main stats, but actually we look at the hit points and we go, oh, yeah, that's actually really good. And then we look at the recovery on Odin's Son, and it's a recovery of 4, and we're like, all right, that's not bad. We started off a little bit worried. It got better as we got to the end. Hand size of 4, no. The only one as low as that was She-Hulk. Again, Iron Man, but Iron Man's a little bit special and works a little bit differently. And what is incredibly strange, in the core set, every single hero, as in when they're in their alter ego mode, had a hand size of 6, but Odin's Son's got a hand size of 5. So we are loving the HP here, but outside of that, the stats are not particularly great. Now, in your hero mode, you've got a lovely skill, Have At Thee. It is a response after you engage a minion, you draw 2 cards, limited to once per phase. It's extra draw power. So okay, you have a low hand size, but your low hand size is being mitigated because you're drawing cards when you're engaging a minion. When we go to Odin's Son, you've got an action worthy. Search your deck and discard pile for Mjolnir and add it to your hand. Limited again to once per round. Well, obviously here, I would love to have seen a mechanic whereby when you attach Mjolnir, you have to go into hero mode, but that would very much restrict the whole switching hero to alter ego, which is at the core of the game. So I understand why they haven't done it, but that doesn't mean that it can't make me just a little bit sad. And obviously, right, it's 4, we need Mjolnir. So what does Mjolnir do? Well, it is an upgrade. It is a 1-cost upgrade. It is a restricted card. Maximum 2 restricted cards per player, because it's really good. And 4 gets +1 attack and gains the aerial trait. Not bad for a cost of 1, I reckon. And remember that with Odin's Son's ability here, you are going to basically be able to have access to it essentially whenever you like. You search your deck and your discard pile, and if you're in alter ego mode, you can literally do it every turn. So, fair to say, it's going to keep coming around more and more. That's kind of nice. Now, of course, we are going to need some allies, and we are firmly rooted in aggression here. According to the article that revealed it, with a thirst for battle, Thor and his allies are perfect for the aggression aspect. So who do we have? We've got Hercules and we've got Valkyrie. Hercules is an ally with Thwart of 1, Attack of 3, and 4 hit points, which is quite high. And you reduce the cost to play Hercules by 1 for each minion engaged with you. Now, bearing in mind, Thor is drawing 2 cards when you engage a minion, and then you're lowering the cost of actually bringing Hercules in here, although to be fair, he starts off as a 6 cost, which is pretty expensive. And we're kind of liking this. Apparently, you need to engage with minions here, and your life gets significantly easier. Bearing in mind, if you're drawing 2 extra cards with 4, that is going to make it easier to draw into the cards you need to use as resources to get Hercules out. Valkyrie is significantly cheaper as a free cost, with 1 thwart and 2 attack. Worth pointing out here that both of these allies have consequential damage when they thwart or when they attack, so you're taking 1 damage to each of them, basically regardless of what they do. But you got health for free as well. And there is a response. After Valkyrie enters play, you deal 2 damage to a minion, but 3 damage instead if you paid for it with an energy resource. That's not bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's not bad. Coming in and dealing 3 damage to a minion straight away is pretty good. I'm all over this. So we've got a couple of very nice allies. However, if we've got a couple nice allies, we are going to need some minions, and we've got Loki here. How can we have a 4 deck without Loki? We can't. That would just be weird, right? So Loki as a minion has a scheme of 2, an attack of 2, and a health of 4. And it's got an interrupt. When Loki would be defeated, you discard the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is treachery, heal all damage from Loki instead. Loki is obviously Thor's nemesis minion, and this is so much fun. He is the trickster god, right? The god of mischief. Obviously, he's going to have some kind of annoying mechanic like this, and I adore this. I think this is a wonderful mechanic for Loki to have. When you defeat him, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's a treachery, he just gets fully healed and stays there. Oh, there are going to be games. There are definitely going to be games where you just have to take him out over and over and over again. It's going to be so much fun, but not when you're playing it. Now, every hero needs a nemesis minion. Every hero also needs an obligation, and we have one here with Odin's Anger. You give it to the Odin Son player, and you may flip to alter ego form, and either you exhaust Odin Son, removing Odin's Anger from the game, that's fairly standard, or you discard Molyneux from your hand or from play, you are stunned, and then discard the obligation. Now, obviously, discarding Molyneux from your hand or from play isn't the end of the world, because Odin's Son is able to just use that worthy action to just get it right back again, but being stunned is kind of annoying. Stunned basically says that you put a stun card on, and then anything else you would usually do, you unstun instead. So when you would attack or use an ability, etc., you still have to pay what you would usually pay, and then you discard the stunned card rather than actually doing anything. It gets kind of annoying kind of quickly. Now, there are a couple of other cards that have been shown off. Going back to Molyneux for a moment, we've got Hammer Throw, a free cost event, and there is a hero action. You exhaust Molyneux and deal 8 damage to an enemy, and then return Molyneux to your hand. And the attack gains Overkill. Overkill basically says that if you would do too much damage when you defeat a minion, i.e. you need to do 4 but you end up doing, 8, then excess damage is dealt to the villain instead. This is really fun. This is one of the things I absolutely love about Molyneux here. You can look at the General Hammer card and go, well, it's alright, it's fine. But then you look at Hammer Throw and you're like, oh yeah, this is really, really good. And it goes back to your hand, ready to pop down next turn. You do still have to pay 1 every time you attach it, but at least it's a nice cheap card in the short term. And then we've also had a little bit of a look at Teamwork. Teamwork is a lovely new card. It is a 0-cost event. It is a leadership card. And it's got a hero interrupt. When you use your basic thwart power or basic attack power, you can exhaust an ally you control and add that ally's matching power to your hero's power for this use. So grab something like Hercules and add an extra free attack. That seems good to me, ladies and gentlemen. That seems like it's going to really help you out here. And then finally, they did sneak us a peek at one last little card here. They showed us Defender of the Nine Realms. A 0-cost event, you can play it for free. And it's a thwart. You discard cards from the top of your encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that minion into play engaged with you. Remove free threat from a scheme. So you're removing free threat, and you are putting a minion into play engaged with you, but remember that when you engage 4, you get to draw 2 cards, and remember that every minion you're engaged with reduces the cost to play Hercules by 1, and actually, this is, this is good. This is really good. I like it. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another hero pack is coming. I, for one, am rather excited indeed. But I'd like to know how you feel about this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Marvel Champions and all kinds of other card games. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of other fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.